We're Mike and Missy Bursuch, and welcome to the Celebrate Your Date podcast.
Yep, and in this episode, the first one of 2023, we're going to talk about goals and the difference between setting goals that are realistic versus ones that are unrealistic. Well, welcome to the Celebrate Your Date podcast.
It's 2023.
We are in 2023, and today is actually a pretty special date.
It is. It's actually our date, our 29th wedding anniversary.
Our date.
Yep.
It is the date that started the date.
The date. We were just babies.
Yeah, we were babies.
At the time, 29 years, and we're so happy that we can spend a little bit of our date with you guys.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in and watching. If you're on YouTube, you're watching. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other platform, you're listening, and we're so thankful that you've chosen to give us about 20 minutes of your day.
That's right, 20 minutes.
And help us out. Hey, listen, no matter where you're watching, we want to encourage you just to subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our podcast, even give us a review. You know, on some of those platforms, if you review, it kind of helps your stuff get seen by more people.
Hopefully,
and
hopefully it'd be a good review.
Yeah,
absolutely. But give us a review.
Yeah, if you're going to leave us a bad review, just keep it to yourself.
Thumbs up.
All right, yeah, right. But leave us a review, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
We would really, really appreciate it. Also, you can always visit our website, celebrateyourdate.com.
Follow us on social media.
Yep. We're on all of those things. So welcome to 2023.
2023.
And, last month we talked about the Celebrate Your Date Challenge. How's that going so far?
You know what? It's going really good. We had a goal for how many people we thought would be nice for the first year to have sign up.
Yeah,
and
like
we've actually,
right? three,
us two. But we've actually exceeded that goal, and people are
cool.
still signing up. It's so cool when we, check the statistics and we have more people signing up. And it's not just people in the area where we live.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
people that we've, known all over the country, all different ages, how long they've been married.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say we had a goal of filling up a whole month of people that we thought it'd be kind of cool if every day of the month someone was celebrating, and we've gotten to that point and exceeded it.
It's pretty close.
So that is super, super cool.
cool.
So we are going to talk about goals today. It is the new year, and with a new year comes new outlook. It comes new possibilities, new hopes, new dreams. And sometimes it comes with changes involved, right?
Yeah, sometimes good and bad.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you make New Year's resolutions. Are you a resolution person?
No, we really haven't set resolutions for a long time. We kind of did the whole word thing and lifestyle change, but I feel like resolutions are hard because I feel like sometimes we set unrealistic expectations on ourselves and then we get discouraged.
I mean, let's be real. The one that I've done forever, and you've probably done too, is the new year. I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get in the gym more. And we have really good, desires for that. And so here's what happens. And this is what's happened with me a lot. Maybe you can relate, is you eat healthy for 2 days. And then you don't lose 15 pounds in 2 days.
You step on the scale and you're the same.
And you get super frustrated and you go, forget it. This is stupid. It doesn't work. And you just go right back to the way you were before you started and it's over. Right?
I think it's just because sometimes we set goals that we want drastic immediate change.
Right.
And then when it doesn't happen, we kind of just throw on the towel and say, what's the use?
Yeah.
Kind of going back.
In a better way. And again, we're always saying here, we're not experts in any of this. We're a regular married couple who still fight, who still have to figure things out from time to time. We still don't have the answers. But we've lived through a lot. We've learned a lot. And we're still figuring it out. And we really wanted to just create a community of other people in the same boat as we are. But something that I found with changes and resolutions, usually the big drastic, I want things to change overnight, usually don't work.
No,
right?
They don't stick.
They usually don't work.
Yeah, we just are too hard on ourselves.
Yeah, and we want to talk about today, realistic versus unrealistic, is sometimes we need to maybe do a little small bite size. Let's go back to the losing weight example. You know what? I just want to try every day to drink water.
Yeah.
Or I just want to try every day to eat some vegetables,
some kind of vegetable.
Less candy and more vegetables, you know what I mean? And what you're going to find is I think there's a saying that you grabbed, right?
Yes. One of our favorite leadership experts, he kind of mentioned small tweaks lead to big peaks.
Yep. Small tweaks lead to giant peaks. And the point of that, and again, we didn't make that up. That comes from a leadership person that we follow pretty consistently, is that if you make small changes and you do those consistently over time, they're going to produce big results.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if you, again, I hate to go back to losing weight, but probably everyone in the new year is like, I just want to be healthier. You know, if you decided every day you're going to walk 10 minutes, you could do that.
10 minutes.
That's not hard to do, right? But if you go, I'm going to run 5 miles in a month, you know, that's not going to happen, you know? And so we want to talk about how that relates to marriage, how that relates to this idea of celebrating your date. So you said one time we went to a conference and you heard a speaker say something and it kind of struck you.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, and we were there. You know, our kids were not with us, and we were kind of at this conference, and the speaker had mentioned some goals that they feel like every married couple should attain to. And they said that once a month, once a week, you should go on a date night.
Okay.
And then once a month, you should try to go away somewhere for a night. And then once a year, you should go away for a week.
Wow.
Now, this is just you and your date. It's not your kids. It's not family vacation. It's not going out with your friends.
A week,
yes.
Get away once a month and get away for a whole week once a year.
Yes. And honestly, for me, that was a bit discouraging because I was like, first of all, not everybody financially could do that. We couldn't do that.
That's a lot.
Every month and, you know, once a year. You know, and that was a little bit discouraging on that end. Plus, I mean, you might be in a different stage of life. You might have small kids and you're thinking, how am I going to go away for the night because I don't have a babysitter or it's adding into that. There's a lot of challenges in that. And it's kind of discouraging. I feel like maybe not necessarily for that person, but for us or for people, you know, who maybe couldn't take that much time off work, that was an attainable goal.
Right. And that's, we share that because you might be thinking, man, and listen, here's the cool thing about this whole celebrate your date is this isn't just for marriages that are doing great.
Yeah.
It's not just for marriages that are doing bad. You know, it's for anyone. And so no matter where you find your marriage at right now in this moment, you know, you might think, gosh, I need a ton of things to change this year for things to get to where they need to be. We're simply encouraging you and trying to help you see, start with something.
Anything.
Start small. Yeah. And so the idea is, again, you could be like, oh, well, there's no way we could do that. Again, we're saying the small tweak is take the celebrate your date challenge and then decide once a month you're going to do something. You're going to connect, right? And so you could hear someone say, well, you should be dating once a week. You should be going on trips and you should be this, you should be that. And you can easily get discouraged and go, well, I can't even try any of that because it's just not realistic. And so we want to keep it realistic.
Yeah, that's
we want to keep you encouraged in knowing that we promise you this. If you date your spouse once a month. And again, we want to encourage you to realize that we're not even saying, now we're at the point where we try to spend the day together, right? We can do that.
We can.
But we couldn't always do that. And so wherever you are at, you can say, look, when you get off work, we're going to get a babysitter, we're going to order a pizza, and we're going to watch a movie. You just celebrated your date. You just spent some intentional time, and we promise you that's going to make a difference.
It is. And honestly, I feel like for us, when we started this, we just thought it was going to be something, we're going to do it the year of our 25th.
Right, it sounded fun, right?
Wedding anniversary. And then, the 26th, whatever. But I feel like for us, it got to be fun, and it got to be something that was a little bit of a sanity in the craziness of life, that we knew no matter what happened, we were going to intentionally set a time aside, and we're still doing it.
Right. Because you know, if your date is whatever, let's say, you know, today's January 8th and your date is the 29th, you can start talking now about what are we going to do and what do you want to do? Well, I've always wanted to try this. And that builds conversation with one another around this concept. And you start to look forward. So you have a bad day at work. You're like, oh, I can't wait for the 29th to get here. You know, and then you just really enjoy that time. And we want to encourage you too in the new year. Don't get caught in the comparison trap. What is that? What's the comparison trap?
Well, just like with anything else, you hear, anytime you compare yourself, whether it be, finances or marriage or how your kids are, obeying or whatever, your job, that's going to steal your joy.
Yeah.
And we're not asking you're celebrating to look like our celebrating.
Right.
We're different people than what you are.
Yeah.
And you're seeing kind of what we're doing because we're trying to encourage you. So it might look different. It should look different. Yeah. It shouldn't what Mike and Missy do.
Our goal is not to, for you to be us. I mean, obviously, but here's the thing too, is social media has kind of created this unrealistic vision of what life should be. Yep. Let's just be honest. Everything on social media, it's not real.
No, it's not real. And a lot of times, I hate to pull the old saying, the grass is greener on the other side, because we hear that all the time. But you know what? There's two scenarios to that saying. Either the grass is greener because it's fake.
Yeah.
Like it's
turf. AstroTurf.
Or it's social media, like you're seeing somebody's highlights. Or number two, that person has really taken the time to water and fertilize and prune and do all of this other stuff to make their grass greener. Right. So you can't just look at something somebody else has without putting the work in. Right.
And you can't expect, again, I related to this when we got married. We kind of wanted to have the same standard of living as our parents had. And our parents worked 50 years to get to that point, right? And you mature and, maybe you can relate to that. But again, our goal is to help you strengthen your marriage, help you strengthen your family. And again, we're simply saying that if you make this time really, really intentional, we believe you're really going to get to the end of the year and you're going to have a lot of really cool memories and stories and things are going to be different. Even if they're okay now, they could be better, right? Or if you're like, oh man, our marriage needs serious work. This is a great realistic goal.
Absolutely.
And that's the idea is, you may go, again, we're Christian and we work in the church world and I'm a pastor actually. And, heard people say, I'm going to read the whole Bible in a year. I'm going to do this, whatever that goal is. Don't set yourself up for failure in thinking that you got to do this every single day or you got to spend the whole day together. And we're talking about this a lot because we want you to start getting the wheels turning. Yeah. In your mind of what does this look like for you? What does it look like
for you? And can I just say this? We've talked a lot about this too, because life happens and sometimes life sucks and things come up that you can't plan for. And so let's just say, okay, the 8th is coming up and we have this huge date plan and we're going to do this and this and this, and something happens and a child gets sick or you get sick or something happens. Don't get discouraged. Either be creative. Right. And say, okay, well, we might not be able to celebrate the 8th, but we're going to celebrate the 15th. Right. Or just really plan for the next month. We're going to do this or this. It's a thing that we don't want you to get discouraged if it doesn't look like at first what you think it's going to look like.
Yeah. And that's the idea, is when it doesn't turn out exactly, because most of the things that happen in life, they don't turn out the way we envision them. They don't look the way we want them to look. But what we want you to do is see the journey that you're on and see the understanding that one date in January that you go out on a date is not going to magically transform everything. Yeah. But it is going to help.
That's right.
It is going to make a difference. It is going to begin a pathway to more conversation and more honesty and more openness and more fun. Yeah. Just having fun together. The reality is in marriage, sometimes when you get married and there's this romance. I mean, I actually did a wedding just yesterday, and there's just this fun and this joy and that's the way marriage should be. But after a while, that kind of starts to wear off a little bit.
And it's funny because I feel like in every aspect of our lives, like if we want something to be better, we constantly work at it. Yeah. Like going to the gym. And you know what? How many times do we say it? I don't feel like going to the gym, but I'm going to anyway, and I'm glad I did it. Yeah. Or, I really want to spend the money on this, but I'm deciding to save it. And so every aspect of our life, I feel like we're so intentional on trying to make things better. But I feel like sometimes when it comes to our marriage, we have this mindset that, okay, I'm married to this person, I have them, so you kind of stop being creative and kind of trying. Right. And it's kind of sad because I feel like in our marriages, like, you know, our children are watching what it's supposed to be like to have a healthy marriage, or maybe we can, you know, be an encouragement to a friend or whatever. So I feel like for us, we're just so passionate about trying to let couples kind of have fun with each other again, fall back in love with each other, find new ways to love each other.
And you're going to find that, you know, husbands, I would challenge you, maybe one of your dates, plan something spontaneous, plan something different. You know, don't let your wife know what, again, we're just trying to help you with ideas, or plan something together, or sit down and talk about it. Or again, whatever centers around, maybe you like getting dressed up and fancy and going out to dinner. Or maybe you want to curl up in bed and watch a movie. It does not matter. They're all opportunities to celebrate your date. And so we wanted to start the new year off with just allowing you to set yourself up for success. Success, because even if, let's say, your date in January, just, this was so much work and hassle, and it just didn't turn out the way, and you get discouraged, you say, forget it, we're not going to do it ever again. Then you're not going to have the progress. You're not going to learn from that. You're not going to figure out what can you do different next month so that you can continue. Because we're all going to agree, dating your spouse, it will be beneficial.
Yeah. And honestly, I would suggest this, because this is kind of what we did the first year we decided to do this. We actually made a list of things that we could do throughout the year, that kind of things that we knew. I mean, we didn't kind of do a whole bunch of new adventurous things. You know, restaurants we like to go to, maybe ice cream we like to go get, you know, movies, coffee if we want to go watch a movie. So go ahead and make a list of like 10 or 20 things with your date.
Yeah.
That's spending time together. Right. Make that list. And then if you think, oh my gosh, it's coming up and we haven't really talked about it, we don't really know what to do, go through that list. Save a gift card that you got for Christmas.
Right. And that's the thing is, obviously you have the date that you're going to celebrate, but the time you're going to spend leading up to it is time spent together. Yeah. It's time with communication and all of those things that are really important for a healthy, strong marriage. And so again, our goal in this is a couple of things. One, if you haven't taken the challenge or signed up to take the Celebrate Your Date challenge, just do that. We're already a week into January. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Even if you sign up in February, the goal is just that you do it. Yeah. There's no prize for doing it 12 months out of the year or anything like that. We're going to be just periodically sending you little encouraging things through email. We're not going to send too many, but just enough to where give you some ideas. We'd also love whatever it is that you're going to do, that you share it with us.
That's right. You know, it's so cool because in the time that we've been doing this and some of our friends have done it, like we love to see what they're doing. Yeah. That makes us happy too. And that's kind of our goal. It's not that we want to be here and tell you exactly what to do to make your marriage better. It's that we all kind of share in the ideas together, and we can be happy for each other and encourage each other.
Yeah. And how cool would it be, you know, obviously if you're following us on Facebook or Instagram or our YouTube channel, you know, to see other couples celebrating their date and celebrating with them and encouraging us, Mike and Missy, and us encouraging you, you know, like keep it going, keep rolling, because I mean, I'm promising you, as your marriage strengthens, your kids and the legacy. I mean, there's so many things that come into play when you strengthen your home, when you strengthen your marriage. Yeah. And again, we aren't perfect. I mean, we're just going to tell you that day in and day out. We have hang-ups, we have fight, we all of that. But we've been through a lot, and we're really trying to help you just strengthen it. So take the Celebrate Your Date challenge. Again, the concept is the date is the day of your anniversary. The date is your spouse. And celebrate your date on your date. And celebrateyourdate.com has our website. There's just a quick form there. And who knows, we might even be sending you something on your anniversary.
Who knows? And again, maybe. just start out being realistic.
That's it.
If it's an hour where you go have coffee together, or if it's 2 hours after the kids go to bed and you watch a show, be realistic, and the small tweaks will eventually lead to the larger peaks.
Yep. Those little small changes you don't realize now. And again, don't set yourself up to say, well, we need this, and there's a list of 30 things that your husband or your wife needs to do or change or whatever. Just say, hey, you want to go out on our date.
Our date.
Let's go out. What do you want to do? Let's go to whatever. Let's go get coffee. Let's go walk the boardwalk. Let's go do whatever it is you love doing. And then again, share it with us.
Yep.
Our social media is Celebrate Your Date on Facebook and Instagram. Use the hashtag Celebrate Your Date. We'll check that out. We'll even share what you're doing, share your tips. You can email us, hello@celebrateyourdate.com. We would love, and we'll respond to every email that we get. We would love to hear from you. What do you want to talk about? What would you like to see us discuss? Do you have questions? Do you have tips for us? Like, help us out here. You know what I mean? But just communicate with us. We would love to just touch base with you, communicate with you, and begin to build a community of marriages really striving to celebrate their date.
That's right. It's awesome. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So, sneak peek into next month?
Yes, it's going to be. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit. It's it's all about being a team.
Being a team.
What does it look like in a marriage to be a team?
To be a team. There you go.
It's going to be exciting.
That's going to drop February 8th.
February 8th.
And so thanks for giving us the last 20 minutes of your day. Share this, rate it, review it, subscribe to it, like it, share it, whatever it is you got to do to get it out there. Tell your friends. We are Mike and Missy Bursuch. Thanks so much for spending this time with us, and have a great rest of your day.
See you soon.